If you've ever wondered, how do people actually buy a house, then this video is for you. I'm going to walk through the entire process, step by step, from who the first person is you should speak to, all the way through getting the keys to your very own home. So pay attention. There's about 4 steps, each one of them very important. Let's get right into it. So who's the very first person you speak to when you want to buy a house? Well, that's a licensed loan officer, okay? There's only 2 ways to buy a house, and that's cash money. Actually, there's more ways, but there's 2 popular ways. That's cash money, and if you have cash, go buy a house. Most people get a home loan, and that's why they come to people just like me, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a pre-qualification process. I'm going to figure out whether you can actually buy a house. I'll ask you simple questions. How do you get paid? Have you filed your taxes? Have you paid your taxes? Are you hourly salary? How's your credit? Do you have money saved? That's a pre-qualification, just a real brief conversation. Then I'm going to take that to the next step of getting you pre-approved. So what that means is I'm going to request documentation from you. I'm going to ask for your last 2 years W-2s or taxes. I'm going to ask for your last 2 paycheck stubs. I'm going to ask for your last 2 bank statements. Based on that data alone, I'll know whether or not you're able to be qualified to purchase a house or not. If you are not qualified, we'll figure out the reasons why. We'll teach you the challenges and we'll help you get over them so that you can buy a house in a very short period of time. And for those that are qualified, we're going to let you know what your max purchase price is, okay? You may only want to buy in a certain budget, $300,000, $500,000, whatever the number is. But we're going to let you know what your max is, okay? You're going to figure out what the max is. It could be $100,000. It could be $1 million. Who knows? But we're going to figure out what that max is. And then we're going to figure out a budget, okay? How much can you really budget to buy this house? Because when we talk about a budget, we're talking about monthly principal, interest, property taxes, and homeowners insurance, okay? That's your total mortgage payment. Your principal and interest is paying back the loan. Your property taxes are the taxes you pay on that property yearly, which are included in the mortgage payment. And your homeowners insurance is basically your fire insurance. So if the house burns down, it can get rebuilt back up with using the insurance. And all of that goes into one total payment. So we'll figure out what that budget is, okay? So we know what your max is. Let's say your max is $500,000. And let's figure out what your budget is. Let's say that you said, you know what, Chris? The max amount I want to pay monthly is $3,500. And let's say that that comes out to be $450,000 in total purchase price. Well, then I say, then you're going to be shopping at $450,000 and below. And then if you're okay with that, you go shopping, okay? But let's just say that you're like, Chris, but I want to buy a $500,000 house. Then you have to be okay with that payment. That's why this budget conversation is very important. You have to know what you're getting into. You don't want to just get approved for $500,000, get into contract, and then realize later on how expensive the payment is, and you're not prepared to make that payment. So having a budget conversation is very important. So once you get past me, the next step is to find the right realtor, okay? So I say you're approved, you're good to go. Do you have a realtor? And if you do, make sure that they're well experienced, that they have current transactions going on, that they have history going the past year with clients that they're actively working. You want to work with an agent that's actively working in the markets that you're shopping in because they know what's going on. They have their finger on the pulse. They know what the sellers are doing. They know what kind of position they're in. They know if they're eager to move and motivated to move, or they're just the kind of people that are looking for the top dollar. So that when you're negotiating, or when they're doing the negotiating for you, they can have a meeting with you called a buyer's presentation, so that they can let you know what to expect as you're going through the process, okay? As you're shopping, as you're looking through houses, as you're putting in offers, going through negotiation. They can give you a good idea of what to expect as long as you're working with an active realtor that knows what they're doing. If you know one, awesome. We're more than happy to work with all realtors across the country. If not, like I just said, we work with realtors across the country. So we have some pretty good ones. We have the best ones to give you to work you through a transaction, whether you're in California, Texas, Florida, any of the states that we're in. We could definitely refer you to a strong, great real estate agent. Because having a strong real estate agent could be the difference between you owning a home and not owning a home. Okay, let's get to the next step. So Making an offer and navigating escrow. Okay, so now you got your financing in place. You've been pre-approved. Okay, we give the documentation to the agent to put your offers in. The offers go in. It gets negotiated by the agents. Okay, offer gets accepted. Okay, now your offer has been accepted by the seller. So the seller's got all these different people that want to buy this house. This person wants to give me $425. This person wants to give me $430. This person wants to give me $400. Some of them are cash. Some of them are loans. There's a reason why sellers pick certain deals. Okay, everyone's different. Everyone transaction's different. We'll have that conversation one-on-one when we get you pre-approved. You'll also have that conversation one-on-one with your agent once you go shopping. Okay, but let's just say the offer gets accepted. Okay, accepted. They want to sell you that house. You want to buy that house. You guys sign the contract and agree. The seller signs the contract. Good. Now you can open escrow. Okay, this is the middleman. So there's you, the buyer. The middleman is escrow, and then the seller. Okay, escrow keeps everything fair and balanced and make sure that everything is going according to the contract. Okay, so once you open escrow, you're gonna have to do a couple of steps. Okay, with escrow, you're going to have to likely put in a deposit. So part of that agreement is you put in an earnest money deposit, which means that you're going to put a little bit of money into an escrow account that says that I'm serious about buying this house. Okay. Now there's a contractual agreement. There's certain milestones you have to hit. Okay. Inside of those certain milestones is the appraisal, which on our side, we are going to make sure that the appraisal is ordered. Okay, everything's going to be basically done for you by myself and the real estate agent, but this is part of the process. So the appraisal is going to get ordered. We need that for our side of the transaction. And we also need that to make sure if there's any repairs that are necessary and mandatory due to the type of loan you're getting, because certain loans say that there cannot be any health or hazard issues, okay, which is good to you. It's a good benefit, okay? Appraisal comes back. We take all of your documentation, submit it to underwriting with the appraisal, and the appraiser is going to make sure that the value is where it needs to be. Okay, because if you're buying a house for $500,000, we got to make sure it's worth $500,000, not $400,000. That's a bad investment for you and the bank lending you money. Okay, so now we get the appraisal, we put all your documents into underwriting, and underwriting says, of course this file is approved. It was put together by Chris and Lee and the team, and they know what the heck they're doing. So yes, you can get a $500,000 house. No problem, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay. Next step is we get to clear to close. So that's the stamp of approval from the underwriter. The underwriter says, you are cleared to close. All the documents are in, all the appraisals in. Now we can order loan docs. Then we order loan docs. Now, once we get loan docs, you sign. Okay. Once you sign, it goes back to the funding department, and the funding department goes, okay, we have everything that we need. Okay, loan is funded. So they hit the fund button, whatever that means, and they wire money to all the parties that need to get the money. Okay, so now your loan is funded. The next step that needs to happen is the way you become the owner of that house isn't just by giving the money. It has to record in your name. It has to be, the property has to be in your name in the county that you're purchasing in. Okay, so then it goes to title to record the deed in your name. So once it becomes recorded by the county recorder's office in the county that you're buying in, that is your house. So now what you've done is you've gotten a loan, you've gotten a realtor to navigate the buying process with you, you've found the house, you've recorded it in your name, you paid for it, now you're done. Now you own a home. And now you get the keys to your house. So it's a very simple, easy process that for many is a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster because there's a lot of emotion in it, okay? There's a process inside of there where you're in underwriting and a lot of people are like, am I going to get approved? Am I not going to get approved? As long as your loan officer has done their due diligence and you've been open and upfront with any challenges you think you may have, there shouldn't be a problem with you getting qualified, because there's guidelines that we follow that we know very well, credit, income, and asset side, that say that as long as you're answering these questions honestly, there's not going to be anything that pops up. You're going to get a home loan. You're going to get this house. But that's it, okay? It's not a hard process. Remember, the first thing you need to do is contact a loan officer that you know, like, and trust. Okay, get pre-qualified, iron out all the numbers, figure out what's a comfortable budget for you to go shopping in, then get with your realtor, let them know what your budget is. So if you landed on my max is $500,000, you're letting the real estate agent know that. That way they're not showing you houses that are outside of your budget, okay? You're putting in offers, they're getting negotiated, you're gonna get an offer accepted, you get into contract, you open escrow with putting money in an account, that's your earnest money deposit. We, on the loan side, go through underwriting, it gets approved. Once it's approved, we wire the money to escrow, it gets funded, then the house gets recorded in your name. It's that easy. It's not more complicated than that. I'll let you know that the toughest part is getting pre-qualified. And the reason why is because it takes a little bit of effort on your side. It takes a little bit of effort. It takes a conversation between us. You submit us a few documents, like I said at the very beginning, income documents, asset documents when we do pull your credit. And then once that part is done, we can let you know where you stand. So it's an easier process than most people know. Also, most people are qualified and don't know because they think perfect credit. And there's no such thing as perfect credit. As long as you meet the guidelines, you're fine and you can get a home loan. So if you're this person trying to navigate this process, we would love to be your loan officer. Our phone number is all over this page. It's in our banner. It's in the description. It's everywhere. We're not secret agents. You can find us. My name is Chris. I hope this helps. Have a great day.